The boxing world has always thrived on spectacle, a blend of skill, bravado, and showmanship that keeps fans hooked from one fight to the next. But lately, the line between legitimate athletic competition and pure entertainment has been blurring faster than anyone could have imagined. The cancellation of the much-hyped fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis has only added to that confusion, throwing fans into a whirlwind of speculation, frustration, and disbelief. What began as an ambitious Netflix boxing event quickly spiraled into chaos, with Davis's ongoing legal troubles forcing promoters to pull the plug. And just as the dust began to settle, Floyd Mayweather, the man who built a career on turning controversy into currency, stepped in and reignited the fire, calling out Jake Paul for what he described as a real fight. Mayweather's challenge wasn't just a random statement. It was a shot fired directly at the heart of boxing's most divisive new star, a man who's built a multi-million-dollar empire fighting YouTubers, retired MMA fighters, and now allegedly smaller opponents. Floyd, in his usual composed but cutting manner, made it clear that if the fight ever happened, it would not be some exhibition circus. He wouldn't move up in weight, and it would be under professional rules. To fans, this wasn't just Floyd teasing another payday. It was a declaration that the self-proclaimed money man was ready to remind the world what a real boxer looks like. The timing couldn't have been more deliberate. With Gervonta Davis caught in a storm of serious allegations, accusations of battery, kidnapping, and emotional distress filed by his former girlfriend, his career was once again hanging by a thread. Netflix and most valuable promotions immediately backed out, unwilling to risk associating with yet another scandal-ridden name in the sport. In the official filings, Davis was accused of dragging and assaulting the woman through multiple areas of a Miami nightclub. Miami Gardens law enforcement later confirmed that there was an ongoing investigation, one that might lead to criminal charges. With the November 14th fight date rapidly approaching, Jake Paul's team scrambled for a replacement, reportedly reaching out to some of the biggest names in the sport, from Ryan Garcia to Terrence Crawford, and even Francis Ngannou. But none of those names carried the same weight in headlines as Floyd Mayweather's sudden challenge. For Floyd, this wasn't just about filling an empty slot on a fight card. It was about control, about making sure no one, not even his former protege, grabbed more attention than him. As soon as Tank's troubles made headlines, Mayweather knew the moment was his. This was classic Floyd, opportunistic, strategic, and perfectly timed. The idea of him stepping back into the ring for a genuine professional fight, especially against Jake Paul, sent shockwaves through social media. The prospect of boxing's defensive genius facing a YouTuber turned pugilist wasn't just intriguing. It was symbolic of the state of the sport today. Analysts were quick to weigh in. Carl Frosch dismissed the entire Jake Paul versus Tank Davis idea as a clown show, calling it a disgrace to the sport due to the extreme size and experience differences. Amir Khan echoed the sentiment, labeling it a dangerous mismatch. Even seasoned commentators like Chael Sonnen noted that the silence from both camps after the cancellation rumors only added to suspicions that something serious was unfolding behind the scenes. Some suggested that the entire event had been doomed from the start, a product of boxing's new obsession with influencer fame over fighting credibility. But the chaos also reignited a deeper question. What does it really take to be considered a real boxer? For years, Jake Paul has walked the fine line between entertainer and athlete, earning both criticism and grudging respect for his work ethic and ability to sell fights. Floyd himself acknowledged that Jake's hustle was impressive, calling him a clever self-promoter who had learned to manipulate the system. But he also made it clear, fighting faded MMA names and undersized opponents would only take him so far. Eventually, he would have to face a true fighter, someone with technical mastery, ring IQ, and the experience to expose him. To Floyd, that moment would mark the end of Jake's illusion and the beginning of his downfall. Mayweather's confidence has always been his sharpest weapon. Many fighters are remembered for their speed, power, or resilience, but Floyd's greatest strength was psychological. Before his opponents even stepped into the ring, he had already beaten them in their minds. Analysts like Tony Jeffries often credit his dominance to visualization and unshakable belief. He would picture himself winning over and over, until losing simply wasn't an option. Whether facing legends like Oscar de la Hoya or young stars like Canelo Alvarez, Floyd dictated every moment. He read his opponents like open books, turned their aggression into frustration, and dismantled them with surgical precision. Even at 47, he carries the same aura, that quiet, unbreakable certainty that he's untouchable when it matters most. The problem is, Jake Paul's rise isn't built on skill alone, it's built on narrative. Each fight, no matter how questionable the opponent, is packaged as a war between old and new, tradition and rebellion. His persona thrives on antagonism. To his fans, he's not fighting to prove himself to boxing purists. He's fighting to tear their world apart and rebuild it on his own terms. That's what makes the idea of a Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather fight so explosive. It's not just a matchup of two boxers. It's a collision between eras. The old guard versus the disruptor, the disciplined technician versus the loud, unfiltered showman. Still, critics are skeptical. They believe that even if Jake were to step into the ring with Floyd, it wouldn't be a fair fight. Floyd's mastery of defense, control, and psychological warfare would likely reduce Jake's power game to nothing more than wild swings and missed opportunities. But what fans crave isn't necessarily balance. It's the spectacle, the story. And Floyd understands that better than anyone. After all, he spent his entire career transforming controversy into currency, and this could be his final act, the ultimate merging of boxing purity and social media chaos. Meanwhile, Jake's team continues to explore backup options. Ryan Garcia's name surfaces often, but the weight disparity remains a major obstacle. Crawford, while elite, seems too focused on legacy fights to risk a gimmick bout. And Ngannou, though powerful, would turn the matchup into something else entirely. A crossover brawl with little technical appeal. The truth is, none of these options can replicate the kind of global attention that a Mayweather fight would bring. Even now, years after retirement, Floyd's presence can single-handedly eclipse an entire boxing card. As the dust settles, one thing becomes clear. The sport of boxing is at a crossroads. Between legal scandals, influencer marketing, and aging legends chasing relevance, the lines between competition and performance have never been thinner. Gervonta Davis's downfall serves as a reminder of how fragile fame can be, while Mayweather's reemergence shows how enduring the hunger for spotlight truly is. Should Floyd Mayweather actually step into the ring with Jake Paul? Or should the sport hold on to what little purity it has left? Should the promoters wait for Gervonta Davis to clear his name? Or let Mayweather and Paul give the fans the chaos they secretly crave? The future of boxing might depend on that answer. What do you think about all this? Should Floyd Mayweather really fight Jake Paul now? Or should Netflix and the promoters wait until Gervonta Davis resolves his legal mess? Let your thoughts be heard in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into the wild world of boxing, the scandals, the rivalries, and the legends refusing to fade, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and join the conversation.